Okay, good morning. My name is Robert E. and I am Tyler's grandfather. My father's name was Alexander John Lee He, and my mother's name was Ellen Au He. My father was born in Hawaii. Well, both of them were born in Hawaii, but my father did go back to China at the age of 10 or 11 and came back to Hawaii. We were both married, and the memories about my father and mother is Dad was always working hard for the family. We had a family of 6, and he was the only provider for the family. I'm the eldest child. So Dad used to put in 8 hours at American Factors, and after those 8 hours he'd come home and he'll do some airbrush painting and also paintings on t-shirts and making etches in the glasses. That's to provide for the extra income for the family. And Mom used to help him out by making leis with cloth, and also help him deliver the finished items to the different vendors. The memories about the religion we practiced at home was actually I was educated in a Catholic school system, and my mother was a devout Buddhist. So that's the religion we had at home. I grew up in Hawaii, in an area called downtown Honolulu, and eventually we moved into our home in Kaimuki when we were dislocated with a new development in the downtown area, and it is now replaced by a huge condominium complex called the Queen Emma Gardens. Well, I basically was born and raised there, so I didn't come from anywhere except that my grandfather and grandmother both came from China, and my maternal grandfather was born in Kauai, so somewhere in the lineage I've got a little Hawaiian blood in me. Well, life for us was a little difficult because we're a family of 6. My mom was at-home mom that took care of us, and Dad was the only one that was working to provide for us. And he was very successful in raising us because he had put us boys, well, there were 3 boys and 3 girls in the family, and we boys were fortunate enough to be educated in a private school called St. Louis High School. And the girls, well, they attended public high schools. I've lived here my whole life. I graduated from the St. Louis College, St. Louis High School, and went to the University of Hawaii, where I had my degree in accounting. But I never did go into accounting because I got sick and tired of it in college, and I worked for 28 years with IBM Corporation and spent my last 2 years before I retired on assignment in Beijing, China. Let's see, there are some other questions that Tyler had for me, and pardon me while I just look at the notes which I got from him. The popular things or fads at the time in my youth was we call the hairstyle the ducktail hairstyle. I don't know how to explain it, but and we had what he called those trousers that came to a point in the bottom of the cuffs. I guess your generation never seen that before. Long hair was not style. We had our hair properly cut short, and sometimes a lot of crew tops. The holidays which we celebrated were the same holidays which you celebrate presently: Christmas, Easter, New Year's, and also we had a very, very good New Year's celebration whereby we were allowed to use or burn firecrackers and Roman candles, which is not allowed in California, and now they're placing a lot of restrictions on it as to the types of fireworks because they're causing too many fires when they use the Roman candles and all those pyrotechnics, and they were landing on the roofs of their homes and starting fires. So now they're limited to the certain type of fireworks, which does not result in serious fire to the homes and empty lots. Well, there was a question about my profession. I was doing clerical work for IBM for 28 years, and I basically remained in Hawaii and did not take any offers for the transferring to the continental United States for promotions because they would not guarantee my return back to Hawaii, and I had no desire to remain in the continental United States because Hawaii is my home. So I did let a lot of opportunities to be transferred go by the wayside because of my firm desire to remain in Hawaii. But for the last 2 years, back in 85 and 87, I was on assignment to China, setting up the China IBM office, which was a very pleasant assignment, a little frustrating, but it offered Amy, my wife, a lot of opportunities to travel around in China and visit the various places because she was from China, and that gave her an opportunity to visit a lot of places that she had wanted to do so before marrying me and coming with me back to Hawaii. The only other profession I had was after retirement from IBM. I worked 3 years with the state government, the judiciary in the family court, and I left them after 3 years because I personally could not stand the mentality of the civil service workers because of their lack of, should I say, lack of cooperativeness and not willing to do things beyond their assignment. But anyway, I could not work with that people after working for a private industry, whereby if you were finished with your job, you would offer your assistance to others. But whereas when you worked for the civil service, they refused to assist you, or even ask if you need any help, but they would just will do their own thing to occupy their time that they have after completing their work. Things I learned from my parents were to be honest, to be a good citizen, and to work hard. And I believe I inherited those qualities from my dad and my mom, who lived and to an age of 96, 97, and was still giving us advice as to, how to improve his health. Who were my friends growing up? Well, basically my neighborhood friends, which and high school classmates, which we are still celebrating our graduation anniversary years for the past. I graduated in 51. For the past years, every year there is a class reunion, and our present reunion for this coming year is in April, where there will be a golf tournament and a visit to the campus, and having a memorial service for those classmates that have died. And we, on a certain anniversary, like the 50th anniversary, we were invited to sit with the graduating class of that year to be honored and getting a little memento for that year. How will we keep in touch with former friends? Well, basically now, this was the email and occasional postcards. But telephone calls are not that much. And are there any special heirlooms or memorabilia that was passed on to me? Nothing much except I have several hand airbrush painted ties. We have some of lace which Mom made from fabrics of the cloth, and also lace made with the tabs from the soda cans. And we also have some memorabilia from my grandfather, who was a first-class carpenter who built a number of stools, sitting stools, without using any nails, except using glue, and I forgot at this age of 82 what how he did it. I forgot what it's called. They'll make a little hole in the legs, and then I completely forgot. But he was made entirely without nails, and it's still sturdy and has not fallen apart. Well, the most valuable lessons we learned from our parents were, again, to be honest, truthful, helpful, think about the next person, and also honor your elders, respect your elders, listen to them, because they have lived a life, they have the experiences, and they have the knowledge to give you advice. And again, it's up to you to listen to them and do as they say, and 99% of the time, you'll be okay. And in closing, I'd like to say that, my family, my wife, my daughter Patricia, my son-in-law Derek, my grandchildren, Kiana and Tyler, are very, very good persons. I had a major illness back in January 2014, and I was on life support in California, and they were with me all the time in my hospital room, and also my son and daughter-in-law also flew in from Hawaii to be with me when I was in a critical care. And by their prayers and their presence, I was able to pull through and have been okay for the past year, and hopefully I'll be living long enough to see Kiana and Tyler graduate from college, and also, God willing, to see them start their own families, and to see my own great grandchildren. With this, I'll close this interview and say aloha and thank everyone, especially Amy, my wife, Matt, my son, Jackie, my daughter-in-law, Patricia, my daughter, Derek, my son-in-law, and my grandchildren, Kiana and Tyler, for all that they've done for me and will be doing for me, doing for me because of my medical conditions. And again, aloha, and God bless all of you. Thank you. Okay, this should be about 20 minutes, huh?